So good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Thank y'all for tuning in to Morning Tea and Allegations, and welcome to episode 4. Now, I just pray for the world and society at this point because it's just a lot of trauma on these social media platforms and in real life, and I'm lighting the sage and just praying because that's all I could do. Um, I'm just seeing so much turmoil and hurt and pain and people that are not truthful, and the world just coming down, and it's just something, it's a sight to see. And COVID has really created a obstacle here, and it's put a spotlight on a lot of things that's happening in this world. And before I get started with the show, I just want to say a prayer for Jennings Middle School's family. There was a educator, a valuable resource, and he has passed away, Mr. Mack. And I just want to just say my condolences to the family and also to the kids. The kids really looked up to him. He was a father figure to a lot of those children at the school, and he was always there to help and pick up and do whatever needs to be done for the betterment of our children. And it's sad to hear that he has gone and has left us, but he's still here in spirit. So I just want to just say, my condolences to the family at Jennings Middle School, and always a Jaguar, will forever be a Jaguar. So with that, let me just go ahead and run my disclaimers. Let me get myself together, and I'll be right back. Thank you, church members, as we have additional announcements and disclaimers that require your full attention. I report the news, so don't try me with the copyright. In addition, the views and opinions on Morning Tea and Allegations belong to me. If you have any questions, bring your receipts so that we can talk. If you get froggy with me, don't expect me to go high and be the bigger person. I will clap back and sage later. God is still working on me. Thank you for your attention, and govern yourselves accordingly. Amen. This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is the best way that you can securely go on the web without your information being tracked. Stay private with a VPN and go to the link www.biancagoolsby.com/VPN. It's a 30-day free trial, so there's nothing to lose. So there's a lot of tea going on around here, and I want to bring some stuff to your attention and some action items moving forward. So first of all, the superintendents in the state of Florida, a lot of them are catching this heat and catching this work, and I think that it's time that we put a magnifying glass on this education system and really create creative solutions on how we can best impact our children. Because right now, I'm telling you, public education is being dismantled day by day, and we're learning that there's not enough money to fund the system. In fact, when there was opportunities to fund the system, there was leaders that intentionally decided not to, which was a very big mistake, and we are reaping the consequences. With that being said, the superintendent in Miami-Dade, I'm gonna go ahead and post an article here so you guys can see it. But he is under fire, and the reason why he's under fire is because there was a donation that is under investigation. The K12 program, the online virtual program that was hacked by a student. And I want to be very clear on what the word hacking really is. He actually really didn't hack the system. What he did was a DDoS attack. And when he did it, he was not smart enough to get a VPN, which I suggest everyone get a VPN. And I'm not suggesting criminal activity. However, a VPN definitely keeps your identity safe, and for browsers to track you, which is what I'll talk about later today because it's very, very important. But basically, there was a $1.5 million investigation. The Office of Inspector General is investigating the transfer of the funds. And yeah, so They said that, the donation was legal and, they're going to cooperate with the investigation. The foundation issued a statement and all that good stuff. So I'll definitely be following up on that. But I just find it quite interesting because, there's superintendents that have all of these contracts and then want to say it's legal, similar to how Addison Davis talked about how that Achieve 3000 contract was legal. And do y'all know that that's a 3-year contract? Like, we're not even talking about just a 1-year contract. It's actually a 3-year contract. Go look at the terms of service. Um, Speaking of that, Addison, I need to holler at you for a second. So Addison Davis, I guess you forgot that I used to live in Duval County and had property in Clay. Um, I guess you don't think that I have connections in these counties and I don't ask questions. There was things that came up, right, about you during the superintendent search. But it was personal. Like, it was like your personal business that had nothing to do with children. So I dismissed it, right? And I was like, well, yeah, I hear you. I obviously didn't want to talk about, that because it's personal. Like, it's your personal life. And as far as I'm concerned, that had nothing to do with children. But the more that this stuff just starts to come, I now recognize that it's actually a character issue, which now makes it makes it real for me. Let's recall, now there was an opportunity that Addison Davis presented to me to go to Rosac, which is pretty much ground zero for COVID-19 in Hillsborough County, if you didn't know. But I had an anxiety attack right before going to Rosac. And I had to, let him know that I was unable to come, and I let him know that I had an anxiety attack. Um, via text, and I couldn't go, and there was something in my spirit that was sitting with me as to where the trigger came from. And just, this is just me being transparent and just being open and honest. And you know I'm now starting to recognize that I now understand why I had that anxiety attack. There was a reason why God did not have me in Rosac. Number one, for my safety, because the district office is just being hit with COVID left and right. But also, too, just everything that's going on and everything that's coming onto the light. So here's the deal. I don't appreciate, Addison Davis, the way that you lied to me. One thing that I've always told you is accountability, transparency, and integrity. I've told you when I met you, I have my receipt book. I've been very clear about my intentions in this fight with education, and it's about the children. Always have, always will be. But I don't appreciate people lying to me, especially when they are over children. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm open for an on the record conversation. I'm not going to reach out to you. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. My number is 813-400-3311. You also have my personal cell. I won't be calling you. I'm going to just leave that there. Now, moving on to Palm Beach, that superintendent is under the fire as well. The union has called for his resignation and also for the human resources director. Sounds familiar? So Palm Beach School Board members, and let me go ahead and post the link right here so y'all can see it. See here. Oh, I gotta copy and paste the link. My bad, y'all. Here we go. All right, so they were calling for his removal, and was saying that, he is not a good leader, he's not being transparent, things like that, right? So the school board members, they basically said that, hey, yeah, he did fumble with the school reopening plan, but we're standing by him, just with the circumstances he has to deal with. And they rejected the calls for termination and reprimand. So that's what's happening in Palm Beach County. So the largest districts in the state of Florida all have controversies that are coming out to the public due to systemic and institutionalized issues that's been happening in our public education system, and is now coming into the light. So there we go. So with that being said, there's also the same calls in Tampa. There's people that are upset, rightfully so. I'm glad that you guys are speaking up, and I'm glad that you're being intentional. This has been a long time coming, happening in Hillsborough County, and some things that are being exposed left and right. I just want to shine a spotlight on just a couple of things. Number one, I am still waiting on my records from the district in regards to the gallon hand sanitizer. So I heard that the district did a recall on the gallon of hand sanitizer that has reproductive risk that was indicated on the SDS when it was pulled from the website when they've already had it in their building. I want to continue to say all of those words so that way people don't try to be funny, because although the company changed the SDS after I blew the whistle, coincidentally, it still doesn't change the fact that the prior SDS was on their website and you already had those bottles in your facility. So it doesn't matter what type of cleanup job you're trying to do. And my public records was very clear. And I want all communications that you've had with Fuller covered under the statute, and this is public record. This is something that you can easily provide, and I'm still waiting on those receipts. So I don't know if this is something that, you know, I need to tap on Chris Farkas shoulder, or I need to tap on Addison Davis shoulder again, or maybe there's several attorneys that are willing and ready. I don't know. However you want to take that and play that, that's on y'all. All I'm saying is that when people request records, you need to provide them the records, and not all of them. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. When people request records, they want all of it, not bits and pieces of what you provide them, which goes to my next question. I'm still waiting on who approved this contract. Let me go ahead and pull it up on the screen so y'all can see it. So, this is in regards to the alcohol safety wipes that the district purchased, and there's a whole bunch of foolishness with that as well. Now, my question is, I requested the invoices for these wipes. Now, I want to know who approved this. Who? I will post the link to the Google Drive in this video so you can see the receipts and the correspondence from the district, because this is what they provided me. They gave this to me. And I just have some questions on who approved it, and especially when we're talking about a financial deficit in Hillsborough County, when we're talking about cutting teachers, but yet we're spending this kind of money on defective PPE. It's defective. And then, you know, going back to the gallon hand sanitizer, you know, I was told by multiple sources that, you know, it was recalled. I'm, you know, well, what are y'all replacing the hand sanitizer with? And are you going to get your money back for the ones that you purchased? Probably not. So who's going to eat that cost? The taxpayers. The taxpayers that have been eating the cost of your mismanagement for quite some time now. And I'm glad it's coming to the light. Um, my next thing is with Pinellas County. Y'all know that the teachers are fed up and they're getting ready to hit the door. I just want to just give you the heads up that there's some students that's planning on staging some walkouts. So I suggest that, you know, we have a meeting and talk about how we're gonna best help the teachers in this situation, because the simultaneous teaching is not working, especially with the numbers and enrollment that you have in Pinellas County. It's absurd of what you're trying to do. And then when people ask you direct questions about what's happening, there are certain people in leadership in Pinellas County that are not being truthful. Surprise, surprise, that is happening in Hillsborough. Surprise, surprise, that's happening in Manatee, and it clearly is happening in Miami-Dade and Palm Beach. I just want to know what is happening. What is going on? So I think people are fed up with the lies and the games. And at this point, COVID has really put a spotlight on how some of you guys are just, you're not good people, and it's not for the kids, and it's wrong. And we need to do better, because this is out of control. It's out of control. And okay. Pinellas County, I also have another question about the nurses. So there's several schools, and most of them are in South St. Pete that needs the most resources. So you have some schools that do not have a school nurse, and I want to know who is administrating the medicine for children. It's just interesting to me how these school districts could pay more for resource officers than guidance counselors and nurses and psychologists and the resources that can help children. So, I have talked about the ACLU report, and they have now came out with another report about the cost of policing. I've talked about it in episode 2 of Morning Tea and Allegations. And I will post the resource in the comments so that you can read it yourself. But the numbers are alarming, and it's even broken down by district, and we really need to be intentional with where we're allocating our money. And parents, you are the ultimate stakeholder in these systems, so really start writing letters demanding change. And that brings me to the episode Change Starts With You. um I also want to bring up and highlight the fact that there's parents out here that are intentionally sending their child with COVID to school. Similar to how when children would have the flu or fever, rashes, lice, anything else, they would send them to school, which is coincidentally the same thing that the educators tried to warn the leadership about prior to us opening up these doors. And we're now seeing stats that say that, coronavirus is rising in our children, but yet we have a governor, Ron DeSantis, that says that children can't get the virus. So, it's one of those things where I'm just sitting here like, all of this could have been prevented. It could have been avoided. There's people that are dying due to the lack of leadership. And I'm sorry, like, enough is enough. It has to stop. So I bring you all of these problems, but I also want to bring you some solutions. Coincidentally, these are the same solutions that I provided on September 20th, 2019. So almost a year ago. So I just want to go ahead and share this article. It was also featured and highlighted in the Tampa Bay Times, but I'm putting it on my platform Medium that I have. Okay. And the blurred lines and how social media impacts the classroom. Okay. So I just want to go ahead and just bring up to the solutions. Okay. These are the same solutions that I've been talking about. And I just want to talk about it. Okay. So I'm seeing some comments. Let me go ahead and look. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't even click on it before. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, look, I'm not, this is not my place to tell Addison Davis T, but it was some personal stuff, that had nothing to do with children that, was communicated to me prior to him being a superintendent. And I didn't, what I will say is that yes, the actions of what was discussed was a character issue, but I also know that it's also normalized, and in high places like that's like a norm, although it's really bad that that's a norm. I'm not going to say too much on it, but I'm going to just say this, like, now everything is coming out to the light. It really is. So, and the folks knew it would happen. Yeah, like all of this stuff that's happening, folks knew. We have already talked about this, and there are people that have literally lost their life because of the lack of leadership. And I understand and I completely empathize with the need of reopening schools and to stimulate the economy and all that type of stuff. Y'all do know that, like, a lot of the stuff that we use here in this country is outsourced somewhere else. And you also know that there's delays and holdups and things happening to where we can't even get what we need in this country because of how we have set this up. We never thought that a virus would just come and take all of us out like this. We've talked about it in sci-fi movies and joked about it, but this is real now. It's real. One of my family members tested positive. Oh my gosh. So my prayers, and I hope that your family member is okay. And it just goes to show you that, like, kids are being hurt, teachers are being hurt, and I'm just praying for everyone during this time because it's not fun. This is not okay. But yeah, back to the solutions. So solution number one was to increase teacher pay. Now, Ron DeSantis decided that he wanted to play a little game, and say that, he was increasing, teachers' pay, but please always read the fine print before you get hype on stuff, okay? He knew that we didn't have the budget for it, just like he's on the record saying that, we don't have enough money in Florida for unemployment. Meanwhile, there's people who have applied for unemployment back in March and still haven't received a dime. So that just goes to show you, what has the state of Florida been doing with our money? We need to follow the money in all aspects, because we've literally been living our life and not following certain things, just like you live your life and you don't worry about school board budgets or, what's happening in school board, just because, you expect that the people would do right and advocate for your children. And here we are, no money, flawed leadership, and people are dying. Number two was to have licensed mental health counselors that are relatable to children. And in my solution, I also talked about how in Hillsborough County, they lead the state in their school to prison pipeline, and Pinellas and Manatee is not that far behind. And, the ACLU had a new report that talked about how, we spend more money on resource officers than nurses and guidance counselors and the people to actually provide solutions to children, to be, proactive instead of reactive. So that's just where that is. And solution number three is to have meditation rooms and spaces to allow children to rest, to reset, to be in a safe space. How many of our kids are in a safe space? Well, I'm telling you right now, they're in school right now and they're not in a safe space, because guess what? you know um the kids are in school that do not have AC. The kids are in school, where, hey, they're still fighting, folks. They're still fighting. So I just want to show you this. Now, I'm not showing you the video clip, because I'm not doing that. But what I will show you is a screenshot that I took of the kids fighting at Blake High School yesterday. Blake High School had a huge fight yesterday, and it was recorded and circulated, and it was all on social media. In fact, the person that posted the video from the screenshot that I captured doesn't even attend Blake High School. It was actually a screen record of another account of another account. So this is how this stuff circulates, and it goes viral, and the kids know about it. So let's go ahead and put it on the screen. So this was the incident that took place yesterday. It was a fight. There was a girl that got jumped. It was a lot of chaos. And like I said, I'm not playing the video. I did blur out the poster's name, because a lot of people like to retaliate in the district and will try to suspend a child for what they post on social media. So but this is what happened at Blake High School yesterday. On top of that, speaking of Blake High School, does the AC work at Blake? Did they fix the AC? The AC that was replaced with the referendum dollars that was still broken. Taxpayers, if you live in Hillsborough County, you need to start asking about the money and the work orders and what's being done, because what is being communicated to me and the T is that you have people who's over operations of a multi-billion-dollar company that was a former principal, and a whole bunch of controversies and everything else while his tenure as a principal. So with that being said, we need someone in operations who knows operations, and not someone who is a principal and who has buddy and the good boy network. And this is why we're at where we're at. So ask questions, because I'm trying to tell you. Now, like I said, you got the fights happening, and clearly they're not 6 feet. Clearly they're not social distancing. And so Blake isn't the only school that had fights. There's a whole plethora of schools all over that students are fighting with masks on, some without masks, and it's on social media. So let's continue with the rest of the solution, shall we? So, number four, encourage social media influencers to create campaigns to address violence in schools. These campaigns need to come from the students' favorite music stars, YouTubers, and the people that have captured the children's attention. Okay. With that being said, your children are spending a lot of time on social media, and I'm here to tell you that some of your kids want to be YouTubers. There's elementary school children that say, "Hey, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel." First of all, the age to even have a YouTube account is 13. So why your elementary school children have, all of these apps and TikTok and all, I don't know. But when you ask a child what they want to be when they grow up, most of the answers that I'm hearing nowadays are a rapper, a YouTuber, an influencer. Um, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much what I'm hearing. So here we go. Got a comment here. Gaither's AC in some bathrooms weren't operational yesterday. Also got an email with another student with COVID. Yeah, so like we have these schools that do not have AC and we expect them to learn, but yet the district is around here in Hillsborough County parading about these new filters. But how can we talk about filters when we haven't addressed the schools that do not have working AC? Help me, because it just doesn't make sense, and it's hypocrisy if you ask me. But hey, people lie, receipts don't. Gotta go get your receipts. So your kids are spending a lot of time on social media, and I'm telling you, it's demoralizing. There's a call to action that I have at the end of this, but I'm gonna just tell you that your kids are being influenced. What they're being influenced by, I don't know. Okay, but this is what I'm going to tell you. If you don't want strangers to just appear at your house to look for your child, right? Well, why do you give them a cell phone with unlimited access to where people can come right to their front door? It's hypocrisy, if you ask me, just due to the fact that we talk about stranger danger, but yet we don't want to check your child's cell phone to see who they talking to. Your kids out here being groomed by people, and it's tragic. And I just want people to understand, like, this is not cool. It's not. This is not okay, and you need to check the cell phone. I'm just telling you. Okay, so number five, creating a task force dedicated to observing social media. And something that needs to be done on a school basis to try to combat the bullying and stuff that goes unchecked. So there's a lot of parents that say, I don't have my child with a cell phone, but they have been saying that they've been bullied because they haven't had a cell phone. And that is because, if they they don't have a cell phone, they're missing out on the hidden jokes. They're missing out on what's happening in the back end. Do y'all know that kids will take a screenshot on something that they see on Pornhub and they will airdrop it to people's phones? If you don't know what airdrop is, if you have an Apple device, you have it, and it's basically a way that you can wirelessly send stuff to people. And the disheartening part about it is that it's not really trackable or traceable. So therefore, if there's a video of some children having sex, because they record it, and so they share it, guess what? That's child pornography. That's a felony. So parents, again, I'm telling you, now is not the time to just be like, "Oh, my kids, they will never do that." Because I'm telling you right now, in today's world, and I'm gonna show you a couple clips today, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And I can't stress this enough. I really can't stress it enough. I've been talking about social media and the cell phones and what's happening because it's real. Our children are committing suicide. Our children are dying. Our children feel invalidated. And it's all because of an algorithm. They feel loved and valued based on an algorithm. So you need to tap into your child and speak life into your child. So therefore, they don't need to rely on likes and shares and comments and engagement on social media to feel loved. Please. Um, the next solution is to require implicit bias and diversion training for resource officers. um Back to the school to prison pipeline, and that seems to be a common phrase that people just throw around, but like seriously, like if you're not going to do intentional work with the school to prison pipeline, just stop, because this is a real problem that is impacting in a real way. And if you're just using it as buzzwords to appear that you're doing something, you're really only hurting the situation. So with that being said, Hillsborough County leads the state with the amount of children being arrested. And sometimes children are arrested just because of a disturbance. And I just think that we need some implicit bias training, and we need to talk about what's going to work best. I understand that right now there is a mandate to have, resource officers on campus due to school shootings, but let's get to the root of school shootings. School shootings usually stem from trauma where children have, been hurt, bullied, and or, they have, mental challenges that, they're working with or that they need assistance with. And so we need to make sure that we're able to provide that to our children. We can't do that if we are buying new cop cars out here and you're riding around like you are the Tampa Police Department. Moving on. The last solution is for parents to educate their child on the dangers of social media and how it influences them on the inside and outside. The challenge that I have for you is to count how many notifications your children have on their phone during school time. That in itself will alarm you. Um, so for every alert that happens on your phone, there are studies that show that you will be distracted for 30 minutes. Now, the study was done on an adult brain. So just imagine a underdeveloped brain of a child. One notification, 30 minutes, it impacts an adult. So with that being said, I wonder how that would be applied to children. Um, but your child's phone is going off. They are FaceTiming and they're on Snapchat and all this type of stuff. I was explaining when I was working at Jennings, I was explaining how, the kids would orchestrate a fight, and how they would do that is they would send, an alert to each other in Instagram groups. They had Instagram groups where they would, talk about this stuff, and they would literally, say, hey, there's a fight on such and such. Or if there was a fight happening, they would go live, and there was kids that would follow each other and they would be notified that someone else went live, and then they would either tune in to the live one fight. I remember they literally went live, and then a whole bunch of kids came from nowhere to watch the fight in person. Like, I don't have to make this stuff up. Like, this is real stuff. So the comment is, stop using social injustice and denying human rights as a social media trend and for a political gain. Agreed. Agreed. And there's a lot of people that want to always put something and spin it as, oh well, y'all acting like this and y'all say Black Lives Matter. Well, first of all, not everything is related to Black Lives Matter, and we need to normalize to getting factual information before we post stuff on social media. There's a whole Facebook group that's out there dedicated to making inappropriate memes about Kamala Harris. Just inappropriate. They have memes with her legs open and all that type of stuff. Like, this is what's being shared on social media, folks. And then we have people that are, saying that we're going to stand up for justice. Oh, can y'all donate to such and such? But wait, am I donating to help something, or am I donating to help you? But hey, everyone turning your grit money. The next comment is, the parents are too busy influencing and being influenced on social media. And you right. You are so right, because the parents are, there's some parents that are just as addicted to social media and being on the phone as the child. That's real. And you have adults that are recording fight videos, and you don't think that your child going to record fight videos? Your child could be a videographer, could be making a movie, but the content that they're recording instead, well, it's the things for clout and likes. The comment says kids don't need cell phones. I think that kids need a cell phone to, communicate, but I don't think that a kid needs a cell phone to have full access to the internet. There are so many apps out here, and I'm going to do a breakdown of some of them. Of I Actually, your comment got me giggling. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Kids, kids need cell phones because there's predators out here, right? And they need to be able to contact home and all that stuff, right? But we also need, these apps and this stuff not to be easily accessible to children. So there's children on this app called Monkey. I've talked about it before, but it's a video conferencing chat where you can connect with different strangers around the world. Yes, that is the case. The app is rated 17 and up, but you will be surprised if you go on YouTube and you see the amount of children that are on the app Monkey, and you even have young queens that are twerking on the app. There's grown men asking these young queens to twerk on Monkey. It's on YouTube. I've showed it once before. So I need y'all to pick it up. School staff recording. And you know what? Some of the school staff recorded because at that point, at some point, people need evidence. There are several school sites that would say, oh, well, we barely have incidences. We don't have fights on campus. We don't have those type of issues. And they just be flat out lying. And that just really changes the morale. And, there are some teachers that, that I know was like, hey, like, y'all need to protect me. Y'all need to protect me. Now, you saying the administration, girl. Now I don't see. Let me let me move on. You gonna have to text me that tea, because I don't know why administration is recording. I could see a teacher to provide corroborating evidence for something, but administration, when girl, you gonna have to tell me about that. But and this is a good comment. So during the school day, shut down and block the Wi-Fi. Allow calls for emergency numbers only during the school day. And so I had suggested to have like a scrambler, but the scrambler is not legal. So, if you don't know what a scrambler is, it basically prevents a whole bunch of network interference in the building, and it kind of keeps everything contained. So therefore, and so I hear the dangers of that, because what if something happens and, something needs to go out, through the internet and all that. So, there's people that will be pushing this issue. But even with the school Wi-Fi, do you guys know that the kids, some of them know about VPNs, and there's an app for free that kids can download, and it actually bypasses the school Wi-Fi. This is how school, like, okay, so business technology educator here. I didn't even know that there is a Chrome extension for a VPN. I didn't know that until one of the kids was in the computer lab trying to override the school, network to go on a website to play games. I didn't even know that Google Chrome had an extension for a VPN, which Google Chrome is on every single browser. So when we have cell phones, folks, There's going to be obstacles everywhere you go, and the kids are finding ways to override it, and kids are doing what they do, and parents, it's on you because it's your device. So again, this is the solutions. I have provided this. I have said this. And this was last year. These solutions could really change the game. Now, um, I really hope that you guys take the time, go on Netflix and watch The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma will really open your eyes to the stuff that I talk about on a regular basis, and will give you more context in what's happening in the tech industry with social media, and how they intentionally knew that social media was addicting, and how they've set up their phone apps and push notifications to be addicting. They were aware that it was changing human development, and they continued on as if everything was okay. They had very transparent conversations about it. Some of them were very nervous, obviously, but at the end of the day, this is something that needs to be talked about, and this should be looked at as a family, so we can have a family conversation about what that looks like. And I encourage everyone to let me know what your thoughts on the video, and let me know, like, what is your kids' perspective on the video, because the movie is really good. It really opens your eyes to what people have been saying. These social media platforms, and I understand that I'm on it, but it's a way to communicate to other folks. But the way that the algorithm is set up, it is intentionally calculating your every move. And if you don't have VPN, if you don't have certain protections in place on the internet, it's basically creating a profile and making predictions about you. And then they allow advertisers to gamble on those predictions. So tell us the name again. The name of the movie on Netflix is called The Social Dilemma. Okay. Please make sure that you guys watch that, and let me know your feedback after watching it, because it's really good. Also, speaking of other stuff to watch, I want you guys to pay attention to the underground and unfiltered social media series that I have on Teaching for the Culture. And it's just some things that I'm just telling you. So with that being said, I want to just give you a couple of clips of some of the stuff that's happening in real time this school year, that is posted on World Star Hip Hop. Now, let me kind of give you context of World Star Hip Hop. Now, for those of you that have heard, people scream out World Star when, it's people are about to fight. That's where, at one point that was a platform to watch the craziness happening. And then it started to spill over into different platforms, and now it's just all over the place. But World Star Hip Hop is still going. They're still thriving, and the number of views is astonishing. The question is, have you discovered Discord in your series? Yes, I have, actually. There is actually a series, one of the episodes I did, and I'll link it. It was about a St. Petersburg child that was actually in a Discord chat and was then involved in a sex trafficking ring. I will find the article and I'll post it later for you guys to refer back to. But for those of you that don't know what Discord is, it is a app, and is traditionally used for gaming purposes. So a lot of gamers use Discord, and it's a private chat with your, favorite gamer, celebrity. Anyone could create a Discord. So a Discord is similar to a GroupMe, if you know what a GroupMe is, which is similar to just a large group message, but it's in that app. So yeah, I did talk about Discord, and I will continue to talk about these different apps. I also posted on Teaching for the Culture 15 apps that you need to watch out for. Discord, I don't maybe Discord is on the top 15, but I know that there's some programs similar to Discord that are on there, so I will definitely share it again so that parents can be intentional with all the apps that's out here that your children can easily download, which I hope that you set permissions on your phone to where your kids just can't download any type of app without your knowledge or consent, because you need to know every single app that is on your child's phone, because every single app is tracking and collecting data on your children, which is why YouTube, which is owned by Google, by the way, and TikTok, they were fined by the FTC because they were illegally collecting children's data. They're still doing it to this day, but they created YouTube Kids. They say YouTube Kids. There's, what? One day I'm gonna show y'all about these animated series on how there's animated cartoons that look just like a regular cartoon, but if you actually listen to the content of what they're talking about, it's just deplorable. Here's a tip. I want you to go to Google and I want you to type in story time. I got pregnant when. And I want you to see how it says I got pregnant when I was 12. I got pregnant when I was 15. And these are animated stories that are being monetized on YouTube. Okay, I'm getting off track. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys is on World Star Hip Hop. And if you have sensitive ears or just viewer discretion is advised. I can't blur it out. This is real. But this is something that I need y'all to pay attention to, because this is happening and this is going viral and this stuff is being shared, and because it's being shared and they see the likes, the kids want to replicate it. And so this is why these challenges, they go viral, because people want to replicate the challenge. But I've yet to see a whole bunch of people talking about the change the frequency challenge, but yet y'all want to talk about the firstborn challenge and no kids challenge. And then have y'all noticed on Facebook, when you have the challenges hashtag, it'll tell you how many people are participating in the challenge. Be intentional. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this here, y'all.
Mute your mic. Man, fuck your class, bitch. What's wrong with you? That's okay. You can just leave then. Bitch, I graduated. Suck my dick. Good for you. Stop. This is not at all appropriate. Then why are you in a high school class right now? Because I'm having a big backwood. Yeah, big B-wood. No. That's great. You like that big too? Like that big too? Man, big wood. Big wood. Big wood, man. Cool. I hope you know that all these meetings are recorded and you probably just got your sibling expelled. So congratulations. That's on his motherfucking ass. We were talking. Yeah. Oh shit! I ain't laughing about that shit. We probably get it. Fine.
Now, so I played that video, right? And so this video was uploaded on August 15th, 2020. Now, 5 days later, okay, and I want you to look at the amount of views and comments, okay? Now, 5 days later, they post with the educators, and I posted this on Teacher for the Culture, where they made a rap remix. There was two teachers, and it went viral, and they had made a remix about going back to school. And I want you to look at the amount of views that video has. So we have a video about this kid who is not, well, this is an adult. This is an adult in a high school class that thinks it's appropriate to be Zoom bombing his, brother's class, smoking smoking weed, okay, on virtual school. Like, so parents, this is what your kids are watching. This is what your kid like. So if you haven't seen this video and look at the amount of views, who's watching these videos? Who are making these comments? So then it gets even better, okay? Because I didn't want to show you the comments so you could see, okay? You could see some of these comments. Look at these comments. He didn't care about his future anyway. Had hashtag gang gang. Super cool, guys. Wow, bro. Like, These are the comments. So with that being said, it's something serious. I also want to say that, your kids are participating in the school vlogs. Yes, they're making vlogs while they're in school and they're documenting, them being in school. They're more focused on getting views at school than their actual education. And then you wonder why the state of education is the way that it is. So, okay, viewer discretion is advised in this particular video clip, because I'm just trying to figure out how this is up and what actions are being taken with this content. So the backstory, kids post vlogs and they do little interviews with kids, and people record it, and they put the recordings together and they make a video and they post it on YouTube. Okay, well, last school year, there was a video that was posted on YouTube. People found it and they clipped some of that and they put it on World Star Hip Hop. So I just want to show you what your kids are talking about and what your kids think is okay to say to be posted on social media.
What's the nastiest thing you ever done?
I was pissed at my mama, so I mixed my period blood in her Kool-Aid and I watched her drink it.
What?
I figured myself I was in the bed with my grandma.
Was she at least asleep?
I made her smell my fingers.
What's the weirdest thing you ever done?
I put handcuffs on my nigga and fucked him with a strap.
What's the weirdest thing you ever done?
My hand was broke and I had my little brother beat my dick for me.
What's the weirdest thing you ever done?
I put my finger in my butt and then I licked it like it was Nutella.
I was babysitting this 6th grader and we ended up fucking.
Y'all, this thing on. Hello, I'm gonna tell you, this content just gets worse and worse and worse. Did this child just say he is a predator? Okay, let me tell y'all something, parents. I don't know how many times I have to write articles, post receipts, have a YouTube series. Parents, please check the cell phone. For the love of God. For the love of God, please check the cell phone and have intentional conversations with your children. None of this is okay. It is not okay. This is not okay. This is not funny. This is not entertainment. And quite frankly, this should not be on World Star Hip Hop and it should not be on YouTube. But you know what? There's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. A whole bunch of stuff. And the algorithm can't control it. Similar to how Facebook can't control their algorithm and they can't combat the fake news. But you can be intentional with how you use social media, and you can be intentional with how your children use social media. I'm not saying that all social media is evil, but what I'm telling you is that a child with an undeveloped brain and without having intentional conversations believe that everything is real and everything is okay, which is why there's a little girl out here that decided that she wanted to take a whole bunch of Benadryl pills because she's seen other people do it on TikTok. And guess what? She died. Parents, I want you to really just take your child's phone, look at the browser history, look at what they're watching, because if you didn't watch that video and you didn't see that video, there was someone else that did. A whole bunch of people at that. that are watching this content on WorldStar. And if you look at the demographics of WorldStar, that's mostly Black and brown children. With all this stuff going on, it's amazing to me how we see this stuff. And let me see if this is still on the homepage. Yes, it's still on the home. Let me show y'all the homepage of WorldStar Hip Hop. Okay. This WorldStar Hip Hop. This nothing aesthetically pleasing, just a bunch of videos. Okay. Now they have all these exclusives. Now this particular video, now due to copyright, I can't play the music, right? But what I can do is I can show you this video and show you the beginning of this video and the imagery that is being shown. This is posted on the internet. All right, so let's click on it. Now I want y'all to pay attention to the imagery. All right, so we see bottles. All right, we see cash. Okay. Bottles, cash, chains. Oh, wait. Did y'all catch that? Did you catch it? Boom. So we are promoting lean. Okay. This is promethazine, Sprite, and a double cup. Okay. Now, I showed y'all a couple days ago where there's a website out here advertising for legal lean, and they are advertising on TikTok for kids. Okay. Lean is another word for syrup. Yes. Okay. So you have codeine, Sprite, and double cup imagery right here. And this, okay. Let's continue for a couple more seconds. Oh, look, more drugs. Oh, okay. So now not only are we showing drugs of codeine and Sprite, but now we're showing Xanax. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest, he ain't even rapping on beat though.
With extendo, that mean I'm hanging out the window. Red dot, get low. Baby girl, this ain't limbo.
I don't even know what he's rapping. See, look. Come on, man. Come on. So, that is on the homepage. That is on the homepage of WorldStar Hip Hop. That is on YouTube. Now, let's go back because I could actually go to the YouTube comments and see how many people watch the video. Okay, so all right, let's see here. Pause. You got people in the comments. Oh, y'all can't see it. Hold on. All these comments. Okay. So I'm telling you, okay? Now, y'all also know that the school, they have blogs at the school. Okay, first day of school. Okay, let me do filter and let me do this month. Okay. So look, school during the pandemic. Okay. And they're deciding that, they want to have YouTube videos, vlogging at school during the pandemic. Okay. But then let's see here. You go to YouTube and let me go to trending. What's trending? Okay. Money bag, yo. Okay. Okay. So, your kids are soaking all of this up. They are. They are watching this, and to what Kimberlyn said, this is explicit imagery that is being programmed to them, and they think it's okay, and this is being normalized. These videos make money off of YouTube, so these rappers feel empowered because they're securing money with this activity and this behavior. So with that being said, I really need y'all to go be intentional, go get these receipts, start asking questions, figuring this stuff out, and please watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix, please, and come back. So I'm gonna end you with this. Please be engaged, please be intentional, and folks, change starts with you. Make sure that you register to vote. Make sure that you complete your census. Make sure that you're doing your homework on the people that you're voting for. Are they accountable? Are they transparent? Are they operating in integrity? In your household, are you accountable? Are you transparent? Are you operating in integrity? Are you encouraging your children to be honest, to be accountable, to operate in integrity? These are principles that need to be applied to every single person. And it doesn't matter your zip code. It does not matter how much money you have. It does not matter your career, your job title. These three principles can be applied all the way around. So the solution here is change starts with you. All of this that I've showed you changes with you. It does. So it's time that we revoke some access. We put parental controls, and we monitor what our kids are watching and listening to. Because I'm telling you, they are just all over the place, and they want to be monetized. They want to be YouTubers. They want to be Instagram famous. They want to be TikTok famous, and they will do anything to do it because clout is the new drug. On top of all the other drugs that's out here that, are on Shopify websites, promoting legal lean syrup, But the kids out here vaping, they out here with, ecstasy and Xanax, and there's a whole library of drugs at Plant High School. But I digress. With that being said, I need y'all to be accountable, and remember, folks, people lie, receipts don't. And if you don't have any receipts about me, please keep my name out your mouth. Hope that you have a great day. Y'all be blessed, and until next time, peace.
Please keep my name about your mouth and mind your business. Mind your